So hello everyone, how are you all doing? So I haven't bought a book from Amazon since forever. I'm always rooting for the local small independent bookshops, especially the tiny local ones that smells like old pages and quiet afternoons. But I'm in my home right now, and in my small little town we don't have that many bookstores that sells the novels that actually I want right now. Like, we obviously have bookshops, but they sell mostly academic books and maybe one or two copies of novels. So desperate times, no bookstores, no serotonin, and absolutely zero shelf space. Yet here I am. I have spent almost 12,000 rupees this year on my books, and half of the year is still left. And my bookshelves are overflowing. I have horizontal stacks now, whenever now I want to pull out a single book, it's like I'm playing Jenga against my literature. And to top it all up, I am jobless since the last 3 months or so. I am in my flop era. I am rotting in my bed the whole day. I'm not doing anything productive, and it's not even cute. But buying books have always made me feel so good. So it's like a mini rebellion against the sadness. So here I am with a mini book haul. All the books are under or a little over 300 rupees. And the best part is none of the books are pirated. I have double checked. The first book that I got is Letters to a Young Poet by Rainer Maria Rilke. And I almost bought the Penguin Little Black Classic edition of the same book, But turns out that version is just an excerpt. But if I'm spending any money on this recession, I better want the whole thing, right? I'm building a collection, I'm building a library of my own, I'm not building a samplet tray. This book is like a love letter to life, to beauty, to solitude, to sadness. There's a young poet who writes to Rilke about, for guidance on his poems, but instead of critiquing his works, Rilke starts writing this letter to that young person, giving out life advice, giving out timeless wisdoms. I have seen lots of poets and book people call this book a literal, tender survival manual, and I really need that right now. Next is Heart Lamp, written by Banu and translated from Kannada to English by Divabasti. The cover is designed by Alwad Gunjan, who is one of my favorite book cover designers of all time, and I hate that book cover designers are not talked about that much. Look how pretty the book cover is, right? So Banu Mushtaq has been writing stories and literature through decades, but Deepa Basti selected a few of them and turned them into a book format. So these short stories basically focuses on the domestic lives led by the Muslim women in the southern parts of India. But what really hit me was when I read that Banu Mushtaq and Deepa Basti faced several abusive calls, threats because of writing this. That's when you know that literature is doing something right. So it won the International Booker Prize this year. I haven't read it yet, but I have a feeling that this one is going to stay with me. So the last book that I got is The Vegetarian by Kang. I had already read the book. I borrowed it from one of my friends in Hyderabad, and I had to get my own copy because this one destroyed me. So I wouldn't spoil the book here. I would just say that this is a haunting novel about marital rape, patriarchal violence, bodily autonomy, and a quiet refusal of a woman to eat meat after some horrific dreams. It is surreal, it's symbolic, and very, very emotionally charged. This book also won the International Booker Prize last year, and I have put a in-depth review on my Bookstagram and my blog. I'll put a link, both of them, in my description box, so you can go and check them out. There I talk about what the writer and the translator both has said about the book. So you definitely need to check it out after you finish the book, not before, because this is one of those books that you need to get into without knowing what is it about. That's it. Just 3 books, nothing extravagant. but I believe each of them carry weight, resistance, and honesty. And I think that's the kind of writing I gravitate towards when I feel like my life is unraveling a little bit too. So let me know in the comments which one of these you would like to read first, or if you have already read any of these books. I'm always happy to discuss about new books in the comments. And you know the drill, hydrate yourself, what are your plans, and be kind to animals. Bye. See you soon.